fucking crazy content creator or I don't know what. Um,
Okay.
content creator or
I don't know. That's funny that it's on there.
what?
On the live, the part about the crazy content.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Hopefully it's not gonna be the same shit.
That's funny that it's on there. Why does it do that? Why are we hearing it back like that?
On
Like,
the live, the part about the crazy content.
okay.
Yeah.
Good thing it's live because then like most people don't see that shit.
No, they're saying everything. Oh, let me see this. I don't know why it's doing shit. Whatever. I don't care. We're just doing this shit.
Nor should you.
Screw it. Whatever.
Oh, my camera may like freak out here for a minute because my system is updating.
Got you. How come it's not showing me that I'm live? I don't get it.
It's showing you that you're live, but you don't what?
Okay, that's working. Never mind. It's working. It's working. Now I'm gonna try to set it up to go live on Facebook.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's my camera.
It's all right. We're doing this messy.
Yeah, one of these days we'll figure it out.
You still want to keep your number up, even though it's already been in the beginning?
I don't really care. I'm not gonna pick it up anyways if you call it. Hold on.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't even get you to answer half the time, and I'm your business partner. Good luck,
Well,
people.
that's on purpose. I'm just
Oh,
kidding. I'm just joking.
damn. Damn, dude.
I'm just
That's just rude.
all right. There's my Instagram handle. You can hit me up on Instagram.
That's rude as fuck.
That's rude as F. You're rude as F, dude.
I know.
I feel like I know. Uh, yeah. So, yeah, so I was able to get in some gym action this morning and that was good. What did you do this morning?
Um, Me,
Mm-hmm.
um, messaged some people,
Mm-hmm.
tried to find information, legal information.
Nice.
Um,
And you're feeling better this morning too, right? So that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
for sure.
So how should I put it? I'm trying to figure out a routine that actually works for me in the morning. I've done the whole, you know, I've done the whole $1 million mindset morning stuff and like I I don't know. It worked for a little bit, but I need to be better at building those kind of habits, right? Because
So explain what that habit is.
what the million
Yeah,
dollar thing?
yeah,
Oh, it's like
what would
you wake up early, you exercise. Like first it's silence, then which is like just you meditate. So you get up, you drink water, you then sit in silence, then and then
you
meditate.
blurring out?
Yeah, no, my camera's. I told you that was gonna happen.
It's okay.
Um,
Uh,
there we go. Then you read. You sit in silence, affirmations, then you read Then at the end you exercise. So it's like you do all those things and you're supposed to be getting up at like 5:30 in the morning or earlier, right? Like, Jesse, Stanton, Pace, they all get up at like 3 in the morning or whatever and go rock it out and get their morning started early. I do actually like the mornings. I like the early mornings because it's quiet. It's before everybody's gotten up and you can actually have some time to yourself when you do that. And there goes my camera again. I don't know why
Okay,
it's doing that.
just roll with it. We've got a lot of goof ups. It just makes it more
Yeah.
authentic, right? With all of our goof ups. So
Yeah, and by the way, nobody cares really.
yeah.
So anyway, so doing those morning routine affirmations, morning routine stuff is helpful. It's just about building the habit, and I just have not been very good about really building that habit into my daily routine. So
I'm still listening. I had to turn my music on. I apologize.
you had music. I didn't even hear your music.
Well, I heard it and it was distracting me.
I didn't hear your music at all. Um, so um, so yeah, so really, getting up early for me, like I am not normally a super duper early morning person, typically. I actually
Me,
end up getting most of my work done, a lot of my best work gets done later in the evening, into early morning, but I don't typically get up early. But that's just all that is just a decision and building a habit. That's really all it is. Like getting up early is just about changing your sleeping, like going to bed earlier, getting up earlier. And changing that habit for me has been a real challenge. I was up
but
this morning, huh?
can I ask something about that though? Because I'm the same way. Like I've never really been much of an early morning person.
Mm,
Um, I've always done better later in the day, in the evening, early wee hours of the night,
mm,
you know.
yeah.
Um, so I mean, is it really a bad thing? Like as long as you're getting your stuff done, like you know what I'm saying? Everybody's got their own kind of like clock that they're on.
Um, there's different arguments for that. I mean, no, yeah, if you're getting your stuff done, then that's fine. But um, there's something to be said about being up earlier in the morning time because at nighttime, nobody's up. Like when we're working and doing our stuff, nobody's awake at all. Like nothing's happening, everybody's asleep. So doing it early, getting started early in the morning and actually getting stuff early in the morning means you can continue on throughout the day and get even more stuff done because now you're interacting with once people start waking up, now you can start, actually doing business. So you kind of get that runway early in the morning. The idea is you get that runway early in the morning and then you just the rest of your day it stays on that trajectory. If you're doing it at night, now you're staying up late. You're there. Nobody else is up. So as soon as you're done, you hit the wall. You go to bed, and then you wake up later in the morning. Now everybody else has gotten their day started. They're already moving, and you're trying to catch up, right? So that's the kind of the argument for that. But
I don't know. I don't think so.
okay, well.
It hasn't been my experience.
I mean, you've got to understand. This is the thing. You've got to understand you. You've got to understand what are you going to do it is the question you need to ask yourself. Are you going to actually do it and stick with it? For me, right now, the answer is probably not. Like if I'm really being honest with myself, I probably won't stick with it for a long enough period of time. Uh, and what's more important to me right now, especially is getting stuff done and enjoying myself while I'm doing it as much as
Exactly.
I can. Because if all I'm doing is forcing myself to like eat shit every single day, like I'm gonna hit a brick wall, right? Um, I don't know. That sounds like I know that sounds like an excuse, but it's like the reality is anybody can do it. If you decide you want to wake up early, it's a skill, just like anything else. You
I'm
can
just saying it,
do it.
I don't think that the time of day or night matters so much. because majority of the people that I've like been talking to and stuff like that, yeah, they get up early in the morning and they're doing all of this stuff that doesn't require anything like to react with anyone, interact with anyone until a certain like reasonable time during the day, right?
Right, but think about that. They're getting up early, they're getting their day started, they're doing things that don't require them to interact, but they're getting that momentum started early, and that momentum carries them through the rest
You
of
didn't even let me finish.
the I just wanted to stop you there because
Yeah, because you're not letting me finish what I was gonna say.
go ahead, go ahead.
And so therefore you change kind of what like where I was going.
Mm,
So let me start over.
mhm.
Here's the thing. Yes, some people get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they do their workout, they check their emails. They're not interacting with anyone until later in the morning, right? But most people are interacting with their direct team at that time in the morning. Then later in the afternoon, evenings, they work on to other people in their business. So here's what I'm trying to say. If you are doing things that you're independently working on and you do not have to interact with anyone else, whatever time you do that is on you, right? You could get it done 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever. I go to bed in the middle of the night and I still manage to wake up 9 times out of 10 and get all the things I need to do for my own personal health and well being done before I have to interact with anyone to do with the business. So if you and I like to work later in the evenings, that works for us, right? We could do work later in the evening
Mhm.
and still have things rolling because you're not sleeping till 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
Mhm.
And you're still getting the same amount of sleep that you need, right? Like
Mhm.
whether you go to, because I know I could go to sleep and at sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning. I still get my amount of sleep that I need and still manage to wake up and do the stuff I need to do and get to our team meetings.
Mhm.
I'm just arguing that the actual time that you do things doesn't matter. It's more about your routine and what works for you.
I agree with that.
So,
I agree
so
with that. But again,
vice,
the argument is, yeah, you and I, we're getting the amount of sleep we need. We can work together at night. We can get stuff done, but we can't work with anybody else, right?
well, a lot of people
Yeah.
do work at night, but who are we trying to work with though that we can't?
Agents, sellers, brokers,
Well, that's you could do that during the middle of the day though, right? Because
but
neither one of us,
again, my point is you're not moving that trajectory along in the morning. Like you get up in the morning and that trajectory carries you through the entire day. When you do it at night, you're eventually going to hit the time where you got to go to sleep. And now you've lost that momentum. You're not also able to work with anyone during those hours. That's the argument. Do you see what I'm saying?
no,
Like, okay,
not making sense at all.
not making sense at all.
No, because I think that
Mm. Okay,
it
well,
doesn't matter. Like you could still have time to work with people during the freaking day because we can underwrite something during the day and still not get a hold of the seller, right? Or
very,
the broker,
very
whatever,
true.
right?
Very true.
And still be stuck to work the next day on it.
How many people do you think in our business that we would be able to interact with and actually do deals with? Like do deals like like lock up contracts, do what needs to be done to get a deal closed at all hours of the night.
Not all hours. It's not all hours, but believe it or not, majority of your entrepreneurs are working later at night
Hmm.
because most of them have W-2s.
Right. But we're not all just working with other entrepreneurs. We're working with like other professionals in the
And
business.
I know, but I'm just saying, we're not, whether we get up at 3 a.m. or 10 a.m.,
Mhm.
we still have plenty of time before like 8 p.m. in the evening when most people are done.
Oh,
There's
for
still
sure.
plenty of time
For sure.
to talk to all those regular, normal people.
Right. I agree. I agree. And but what I'm saying is the argument for waking up early, the argument for waking up early is that you are getting up early, you're starting your day earlier than everyone else. You're getting stuff done early in the morning, and then that carries you through the entire day.
Yeah, but
Whereas,
you can do
where
that whether you get up at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's when
true,
you start your day. You know what I'm saying? Like the time of day, the actual time doesn't matter.
it does
It
to me.
really doesn't.
It does
It
to me.
matters as long as you have a good routine and you continue that momentum.
That's true. I agree with that. So, well, so here's the thing with just me, for example. I still have a W-2. I still
I
work a
know.
freaking W-2. So, right. So getting up at 5 a.m., that routine allows me to get a bunch of stuff done, even on the W-2 side. So that frees up a bunch of time. Now, if I did, honestly, like I can't do that stuff at night. There's reasons on the work side that I can't do that stuff at night. So getting up early in the morning for me, for example, is actually more beneficial in some ways because I can get that stuff done on the W-2 side, shove that aside, and then start focusing on the business earlier in the day. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
no, for
there
you,
are some
yeah.
things, that make sense. Now, also for me in the evenings, my circadian rhythms are already like set up for that. So like in the evenings, I can just say, okay, here's all the stuff I need to get done for the business and just get that stuff done in the evenings and leave the day for, I guess I could say, I could break it up. I could say, like, in the evenings, I'm going to get stuff done that doesn't require me to be like calling brokers, calling agents, and all that stuff. And then during the day, I can set it up where that stuff's done during the day. And in the evenings, I get all the non-money making stuff done, right? Like all
Well,
the
it's all money making.
it's all
It
money
all
making, but
helps.
you could break it up that way. You could say in the evenings I'll get the like non-imperative stuff done, and then during the day I get the really important stuff done. I don't, it depends on how you want to break it up. But for me, it's hard because like waking up early does actually have some benefits for me
I'm
too.
not saying it doesn't.
But
I'm just saying though, like it doesn't
yeah,
necessarily have to be that way for everyone,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
And
So
by the way, oh, sorry, guys.
we just whatever go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like people who say like you only need 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of
No, no,
sleep.
no, no. You need
Don't
more
listen to
than
those
three
people.
hours of sleep.
Yeah. Don't listen to those people, guys. Like I was listening to who's that guy on freaking YouTube? He Gary Vaynerchuk. He's got so many of these videos where he's telling people all you need is like a few hours of sleep. That's such here's the thing, that is really, really dangerous advice. That's really dangerous advice. It's also just bad advice. Like, hey, Gary, cool. You can do 2 hours and 3 hours a night and get shit done and be okay. Good for you. But
I
even for
wouldn't
Gary,
suggest it for anyone, honestly.
I wouldn't suggest, and even for him, I would say,
Yeah. But I mean, to each their own, right? So
yeah,
we're not experts.
yeah,
We just can only speak from personal experiences and whatnot.
yeah.
Um, you know,
There's some pretty good documentation literature on how much sleep the body needs. That's been pretty well peer tested and reviewed. And it clearly shows that the human body needs 7 to 8 hours a night. I mean, you can do 6 hours, but eventually it's going to catch up with you, right? You can get 6 hours or less, but it's going to catch up with you. Like that time you're asleep, that's how your brain cleans itself out. So anyway, but I like back to our point, like I'm not going to force myself, I'm not going to kill myself doing this to wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and just be freaking miserable, miserable.
No, it's not about being miserable. It's a like, let's get this is part of our 21-day challenge, right? We were doing like going after our wants
Mhm.
versus looking at our don't wants to just, decide directions and whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, entrepreneurship is supposed to be a way to not do that 9 to 5 grind, like, you know, kill yourself to make a dollar, right?
Yeah.
Um, sure, you have to put in a good amount of work and time in the beginning, especially, um, and it could seem difficult and whatnot, but if it's really not bringing you any type of joy, why would you do it? Because you're not going to want to stick with it. You're
No,
not
gonna
like,
hit a wall for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I enjoy learning and growing and um with, my new friends and you know, so
yeah.
I don't put myself out though. I already did that. Like I
I'm,
did that,
yeah.
so I won't do that again, no matter what. I don't give a shit if you're handing me $1 trillion on a silver platter. I will never put myself out like I did before and take myself down. No amount of money is worth that, right?
Well, and no amount of money is worth your soul either. Like, what are you doing on a daily basis? Are you selling your soul for that money? Are you stepping over people? Are you effing people over for that money? Is that what you're doing? And how long do you think it's going to be until that catches up with you? Right?
Exactly.
You hear all these stories about these super wealthy people who have, stolen ideas, who have done all these things to get where they are. And don't get me wrong, like to get to a certain level in business, you do have to be a little bit, I don't want to say ruthless, but you do have to be a little bit self-serving. Because if you're not thinking about yourself and your business, no one else is going to. No, honestly, nobody gives a shit about your business except for you, right? That's the reality of it. Like you and I, Pansy, we give a shit about our business. Nobody else gives a shit, right? The only time people give a shit is if there's something for them to gain from it, right? So the actual caring about your business, and I'm not saying like you can have friends and family and people who actually care about you and want you to succeed and stuff, but outside of that, like the world, nobody cares, right? So you do have to be a little bit self-serving, but that doesn't mean you need to like walk over people
I want you to change that to nobody cares, work smarter,
or smarter. I
not
like that.
harder. I
I
don't,
like
because
that.
this is
I like
not
that.
about working harder, it's about working smarter, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, so
I like that. I will
I
do
don't like that. Work harder. No, 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 no. It's not about work
that.
harder. It's about
So
working smarter
it's
and,
I like it because it's
going
a
after your
reminder.
wants, right?
Yeah, I like it because it's a reminder to me, like when you start getting, frustrated with stuff, like
Like
nobody
me.
cares. You have to be the one that cares. Yeah, you have to be the one that cares. And yeah, you're right though. But it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. Okay, great. So, but you ever read the book Eat That Frog?
No.
Eat That Frog. It's about when you start your day or you're doing your business, like we all avoid the things that we don't want to do, right? We figure out excuses, we figure out ways to get around it. I have a friend who basically said he was doing that for a while. He was wholesaling real estate, or was trying to, and he finally just said, you know what, enough. I'm gonna do 10 offers a day and I'm going to do it every single freaking day until I become the best at this that I possibly can be. And so he did it every single day. Took him, I don't know, 4 or 5 months to get a deal. I don't even think it took him that long. It took him about like 90 days to actually get a deal, but he was doing it, and he was doing it at times that he really didn't want to do it. And that's what the Eat the Frog is about. It's about, if you start your day and you just do that first thing that you don't want to do immediately, like it sets you up. You're like, oh, that actually wasn't that bad, and now it's done, right? And it talks about there's ways to go about doing it. It's a good book. You should read it, especially if you're one of these people that, like myself, who tries to avoid or convinces themselves to avoid the things that need to get done sometimes, especially if it's something you really don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my problem is I don't know what to do. Like there's several things, on my list,
Mhm.
but I don't quite understand enough about what to do with them, like,
Well, that's something you and I need to talk about because that's not good. We need to make sure you know what to do.
yeah. I mean, that's not just business, just personal stuff and whatnot,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm. So how, because I know exactly how you feel. Well, what I did to help with that is I did a brain dump. You ever done a brain dump before? All the things.
probably not recently because going back to like what this started with the wants and the don't wants,
Mm,
try trying to write down, brain dump type thing and um learning a different mindset. So trying like I used to write all the time. I would write everything like just, go. And it helped me. I would say it would help because I would kind of like have, write down a perspective or whatever. But since I started working on like the mindset shift and trying to write down things in a positive way, versus to what just when you start thinking stuff and I automatically change my thinking and I can't write stuff down. So it's been a challenge. And even me and a friend of mine talked about this yesterday morning. Um, you know, she's like, wait, you need to just be able to say everything and just put it. I'm like, yeah, but what you think and say, you're putting out there. What you write, you're putting out there. So do I really want to put that initial thought and finish that initial thought if it's really negative, right? So yeah, that's been the challenge. So,
well, I get that. What I'm talking about though is just to-dos. All the stuff in your brain that you know you need to do, you dump that onto a piece of paper, like in no
yeah.
particular order. It doesn't matter what order, just everything you can possibly think of that you need to get done, right? So you're getting it out of your head and onto a piece of paper.
Oh
There's your
my cat.
Yeah, there's your cat. Um, so onto a piece of paper, and then once you have your big gigantic list of things that you need to do, you start categorizing them. Are they business related? Are they personal? Are they health related? Are they financial? Are they like, what are they? Right? So you classify them. And then once you classify them, you put them in order. So you put them in groups: health, personal, business, whatever. And then in each one of those categories, you put a number of the most important thing that needs to get done first in each one of those categories.
Okay, so that's not really a brain dump so much.
It
Like
is, initially it is.
it's more of a to-do list.
Yeah, but it's a brain dump of everything that you've got on your mind that you need to get done. And
Well,
I
I could do
know.
that. And I like have sticky notes now. Like
Mhm,
I've been writing stuff down and
mhm.
so that's why I tried to take care of some stuff this morning. I didn't get very far. I don't understand some of the stuff and
Hmm.
you know, so I
That's
have
okay. You're learning, and we can look at it. We'll look at it together. It's all good. That's why, you're not doing it alone. You don't have to do it alone anyway.
I know, I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
Hmm.
So once, let's go to that real quick about the 21-day challenge that we've been doing.
Hmm.
Speaking of our wants,
Hmm.
um, we've talked about traveling and um business, right? Did we speak of we wanted we want
Hmm.
uh to acquire 100 doors this year
Hmm.
in a few different locations.
Hmm.
Jacksonville, Florida, and right surrounding areas, Chattanooga, Tennessee,
Hmm.
um, a small multifamily in northwest suburbs of Chicago. Where else? Oh, and
Arizona, Phoenix,
something, yes,
Mesa.
around the Phoenix area.
Hmm. Hmm. I like Prescott too, Prescott Valley, Arizona. So yeah.
And I want to meet my business partner in person.
Hmm. You will.
I know, I know.
And I want to buy back my family's home
Right.
and modernize it, renovate it, modernize it. And I want, what do I want? I want our business to be doing 100,000 a month. That's what I want us to be doing.
We'll get there
Yeah, we will get there.
in no time. I also want to help others learn and
To
grow
help others,
and
yes.
succeed.
I want to help others. I want to create a community that's free, but that's vetted. That's what I want as well.
Yeah, I agree for sure. We
Like, yeah,
want,
it's free, but we're not just going to be letting anyone and everyone in there.
right. Well, we all have to have the same, um,
Values, yeah.
huh?
We have to have the same values, the same goal, not necessarily the same goals, but the same values for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Values, integrity, right?
Integrity is a big one for sure.
Willing to collaborate.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we could probably wrap this up.
Mhm. Wrap it up.
Wrap that up.
Mhm.
All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one.
On the camera
Love
to
you.
stupid. Bye, guys. I'm all blurry.
I know. God, stop. I gotta stop it.
Is anybody actually watching?
I don't know. On Facebook.
Huh?
On Facebook. Oh shoot. Ah. I'm like,
Yeah, well, we should do something.
hold on. I think we gotta like, how do I end this on the live? I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Hang out in here just a second. I gotta restart my computer. Your host, right?